Hello, I am Scott Sackett. Thank you for checking out my video. If you like this video, please take a second to subscribe. Today I'm going to talk about lead holders. Now, first off, you may ask, what is a lead holder? Lead holder is what I have here. Basically, it is a mechanical pencil, what they call, it's also called a clutch pencil, because it has teeth right there, these jaws that open and close, and it holds a lead in it. So the advantage of having a lead holder, it's not a mechanical pencil, like for example, like one of these, like a your typical, clicky mechanical pencil we're all familiar with. A lead holder is more like having a drawing pencil, for example, like a pencil like this. But the advantage of having a lead holder over buying a bunch of drawing pencils, one is over the long haul, this is cheaper. Lead you can get for about $1 a piece. A decent drawing pencil is roughly about $2, and so like this Stadler Mars pencil will run you between $1.50 and $2.50, depending on where you get it. Roughly $2. You can buy the equivalent lead for a lead holder, which is just like this, just this lead that'll go in here. It's about the same length as a pencil, but it's generally about $1 of lead for lead holder lead. So it is more economical. The other thing is, to me, it's a little more practical to carry around because you can completely retract it in here. You don't have to worry about poking something in your bag. It has some of them have clips. This one has a clip, so you can put it in your pocket. The upfront cost is a little bit more. Generally, they run between $8 and like $15. Some of them are a little bit more expensive. You can spend a lot of money on some of them. There's some that are real nice that are expensive that I don't have, but this is kind of an average. The other thing is, because there's no wood around the point, they tend to stay sharp a little bit longer. In other words, you can turn them on their side like this and draw, and it'll sharpen. And there's no wood. If you did that with a wood pencil, you can do that, but eventually the wood gets in the way. But with these, you can kind of do like that, and you can use a sandpaper block and sharpen it, and you don't worry about the wood. And so it's a little more convenient. And like I said, this has a clip, so you can clip it either in your pocket or in your bag or something. You can retract it so you don't worry about poking yourself. So I thought I would share my collection of lead holders. Some of these are easily available. Some of them I've had for years. Some of them I think are older than I am. So I'm going to go through them. First off, the one I want to talk about is the Barrel Turquoise 10C. I absolutely cannot recommend this piece of junk. Normally it has a clip on it. I've taken the clip off. I generally don't use this. I had this in my box of art supplies. I think in school they gave me this. I have 2 of them, but the lead doesn't fall freely which may be okay, I guess, if you don't care, but it gets stuck. You can see that. It feels very lightweight and cheap. Lightweight isn't a bad thing necessarily, but this just feels really cheap. Also, this is one I have in my collection. It is broken, so I can't recommend this. These are just feel flimsy, and these are very common. You see these a lot. Barrel makes colored pencils, so the Barrel Turquoise is a very common lead holder. I recommend you run away from it. Do not get this. Now I'll talk about some others that you could get or should get. Okay, now. So this, I have an unboxing of this on my video. It's the Stadler Mars 925-2520, and it's a lead holder, and it's a little bit different looking. It's fairly heavy. It's not maybe the heaviest of the bunch, but it's fairly heavy. But I don't like it because of this. It operates like a mechanical pencil, and something about it just doesn't feel right. It's a little heavy. It doesn't have any, there's nothing. When I bought it, I ordered it online. I thought there was supposed to be a sharpener under there, an eraser or something. There's nothing under there. It does feel heavy, but I don't care for it. To me, in person, it looks cheap. It has a shiny clip, a shiny collar there, a matte thing. This is nice. The grip is nice. This isn't bad. I think I paid about 20 bucks for it. I feel like that's overpriced. Okay, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I got this at a local art/school supply place. This is the Pacific Arc H1309. Pacific Arc is a newer company. I think they're a Chinese company that makes a lot of art supplies. You'll find them in your, I've seen them at Hobby Lobby and at Michael's. And they tend to make stuff like compasses and rulers and French curves, that sort of thing. But they made this, and this is not bad actually. It's a heavy weight. It's got a good clutch mechanism. It has it feels good. It doesn't feel overly grabby. It doesn't feel overly loose. It's got a clip on it. That hole right there is a sharpener. And I don't know why I haven't got into this. It doesn't grab me. Something about it. I think it's a little on the heavy side or something. It just doesn't feel. It's nice, but it feels cheap. I think I literally paid like $5 for it. Maybe I didn't even pay that much. It may have been under $5. If you're on a budget, this is a good one. This is much better than the barrel. I actually like this one better than I like this one. And I probably paid 4 times as much for this one. But I haven't used this a whole lot for some reason. I'm not really sure why. But it's good. It's not bad. It's pretty good. So I'm going to kind of get into a couple that I've had forever that I really like. This is the one that I draw all my comics with. Now you can't see the print. Now my wife is an engineer and she gave me this. Somebody found it in their desk at one of her jobs, and they were basically doing away with hand drafting. And she gave me this, and I think, as near as I can tell, it's from the '60s. It's aluminum. It's painted, but you can see the paint's come off. It's a Teledyne Post, and I believe it was made in Italy. Now I put the clip on it. I didn't have a clip on it. I think I put a clip from a barrel lead holder on it. This is a nice. This feels good in your hand. It's got a nice weight. It's not overly heavy. It's got a good balance. It's got a good, the jaws it's one of the few that has a foregrip. And I don't think that really makes much difference, but it feels tight. And this is from the 60s, but when you push on it, it has a real tight action. And so you know that everything is tight in there. I like this. This does not leave my desk because this is something that I'm afraid if I lost it, I'd never be able to replace it. Maybe I can get one on eBay, but it probably cost me a little bit. Again, the model, I don't know what the model is, but I do. It's a Teledyne Post 2811, and it was made in Italy. And this is literally my favorite of the ones I have. Now this one I've had for a while. Let's see what this is. This is a 435 Terca Professional 5 Italy. This I got at work that I needed a pencil, and somebody bought me this, and then I didn't need a pencil, so I brought it home. There's not a whole lot to speak of about it. It's functional. I doubt you'd be able to find it. I wouldn't recommend it. It feels a lot like the barrel Turquoise. It has a light body and a heavy nose, which makes it just kind of awkward feeling. The good thing, it does have a grade indicator, but most lead has the grade on it, so that's not really necessary. But this isn't bad, and I've had this since the 90s, and I don't think Torco Professional 5s are still available. It was made in Italy also, but it's I wouldn't recommend it. Let's put it that way. So I bought this one not too long ago, and the silver has already worn off on the thing, so you probably can't see this. This is a Colander, made in Italy, Colander Telegraph 5611. This isn't bad. It's a plastic body, so it feels light in the back. It's got kind of a heavy nose. It's got a decent grip. It's got 4 jaws. The grip, the spring in there feels really loose to me. I don't think this will last very long. I keep this at my desk, and I'll explain why in a second, why this doesn't travel with me. And some of these don't travel with me when I go out to sketch. This stays at my desk, and I use it in conjunction with this one. And I'll put like a hard lead in one and lighter lead in the other, like a 2H in this and HB in this, and I'll kind of alternate. Okay, so this is probably my favorite of my newer pencils. And this one occasionally travels with me, but it doesn't for a very particular reason that I'll talk about and when I talk about the last pencil. This has a first off, it's a Colander 5616. This is and it's made in Italy. I put the clip on it. The yellow is starting to chip. I love the color. It's kind of an unusual color, kind of a mustard color. This is actually called the Super Adapto, which I love that name. It sounds superhero. You should be drawing comics with something called the Super Adapto. But this is a decent lead holder. This kind of stays at my desk. This is an all metal body. So this is really, like, these two are very equivalent, I feel like. This has a little bit tighter jaw mechanism than this one does. But it's still, it's got a good feel. This is really good. I like drawing with this a lot. I draw with this around the house a lot. Now I have one that I lost, or I can't find. Let me put it that way. And I think I've lost it. And I'm gonna show you a picture of it. It is the Faber Castell TK 9400. This is and if you can't tell, I'm showing it to you on my iPad, showing you a picture because I can't find mine. I don't know where it went, but I haven't bothered replacing it because it's got a real lightweight body. You can see. This is all plastic. All the way down to this very tip. Most of these have a metal grip up to about here. This one is so lightweight. It's not a bad one. It doesn't come with a clip. I kind of like them to have clips, even though the draftsmen don't like them to have clips because they'll jam into your hand. But I like clips because I clip them on my sketchbook or clip them in my bag or in my pocket or something like that. Like I said, I bought this. It's vanished. I haven't replaced it. If I find it, that's great. I didn't care that much for it. The tapered grip made it hard to grip for me, and it was kind of uncomfortable to draw with. It's not bad, but it just didn't do it for me. I would call this a pass. Okay, so this is the one I saved for last. This is the last one. This is the Stadler Mars 780. It's made in Germany. Stadler Mars has made drafting equipment since I was a kid, or longer than since I was a kid. When I was a kid in drafting class in junior high, we used all Stadler Mars stuff. One of these, I have probably a dozen of these that I've acquired from various places over the years. This is probably the easiest to find of all these. If you went to a office supply store and they had a section of drafting equipment that was a dusting brush, a ruler, a T-square, and some erasers, and a lead holder, it would be this one. You can find these just about anywhere. They're not overly expensive. I think they're under $10. They're plastic, but they don't feel as light as the others. They have a decent heft to them. I'm not really sure why. I think they have more internal stuff. The grip is fairly positive. They work well. They're reasonable to hold. They do get dingy. They come with a clip. One thing I really like about them is this hole. That hole is a sharpener. Now, it's not the best sharpener in the world, but what you can do is you can extend your lead. You can take your lead. Hang on. I'm going to do this over some paper. You put it in here, and this lead's kind of dull. I don't know if you can tell. And see, it's not a real long point, but it'll put a point on it. Now, the problem is it makes a bunch of lead shavings. But if you're like someplace like an airport where you don't really care, it's no big deal. And that's what I like about this. This is a great pencil to carry around and sketch. I would 100% recommend this as a purchase, especially if you intended to walk around and sketch. So that's good. Let's see. You probably can't find that. This is good. This is real good. I like this. Again, it doesn't have a thing. It doesn't come with a clip. But if you're just going to use it at the house, that's a good one. This is a good one if you can find it because it's cheap and it's a little on the heavy side, but it's not bad. This is reasonable. This Colander Telegraphics 5611. There are a few I wouldn't recommend. I don't think I'd recommend this for the price, to be honest with you. It's a little overpriced unless you just fall in love with it. Absolutely don't recommend the Barrel Turquoise. Just a terrible piece of junk. But anyway, that's my overview of lead holders. I think I got about all of them that are out there. I'm sure there's some oddballs, maybe in other countries, that I don't have. But usually, if I come across something that I don't have, certainly a lead holder, I'll buy it. Somebody makes, oh, I forget. Somebody makes a real expensive one that you can get. That I think it's a Stadler, but it's black, and it's like 50 or 60 bucks. I haven't bought that. I don't like the click 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 action. It just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't do it for me. But anyway, hopefully that'll kind of give you an overview on some lead holders. Like I said, you can't go wrong with the Stadler Mars. Can't go wrong with the Super Adapto. It just depends on your budget, if you want to carry around, if you need a clip, that sort of thing. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please take a second to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, leave a comment below. If you have a lead holder that I don't have, please leave me a note below so I can check it out. I'm always on the hunt to spend more money on art supplies. And I am going through How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way with tutorials and just kind of an expansion of the information that's there. If that interests you, you might check out those videos. Anyway, thank you very much. Goodbye.